don't even know where it fell.
It's right here. And I'm not surprised to see the Enchantress banned out. Na'Vi has already shown that they are very comfortable with that pick. Earth Spirit removed by Na'Vi, as said already. Rejects. I don't think that there's that many surprising bans coming out, to be fair.
I'm surprised by the lack of Night Stalker bans.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of these team fights between the two teams start when one has division advantage. And I feel like he is probably the best for that. Alright, the first two major picks, we got Undying for OG and a Shadow Demon. Sneaks it in as the first pick.
I like the Shadow Demon, but I don't think, even though we did see it as an offlane earlier this week, I don't think it will be an offlane Shadow Demon.
So the team that ran it was, I believe, VP, right?
Yes.
And they lost that game.
I think they did.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna get a position for Clockwork. I mean, the verdict is still out on whether this Shadow Demon will be in the offlane or not. So it just might be Shadow Demon is a good hero to have. Yeah.
I mean, it pairs up real well with a lot of different heroes, actually. And we also saw there wasn't a Shadow Demon in the game that they played against Virtus Pro, one of the ones. No, it wasn't. All right. Oh no, it wasn't. It was the Virtus Pro game that they lost against Liquid yesterday, where there was also a Leshrac. So nice combination there. But actually, Shadow Demon with Clockwork already has a bit of a synergy there. Disruption into Cogs, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, when you talk about, we have a Drow ban for the second phase. The thing when you talk about Shadow Demon combinations, like with Leshrac that VP ran, or in this case with the Clockwork Cogs, it's much better when your Shadow Demon is roaming around as a 5, right? But if you put him in a static off lane, he won't get too many opportunities to rotate off the lane to make those combos go. So
5 seconds remaining.
I'm
not sure if I'm sold on the position 3 Shadow Demon.
No, we'll find out what Na'Vi is planning to use it as we are going through the bans with indeed the Drow ban already there, which I find a little bit interesting, but I guess you don't want to get drowed, if you will. Undying is already known as a very face-past hero. We already saw Midorfeet almost did it with an Undying, but if you want to be able to push high ground with your Undying lineup, a Drow Ranger is an easy one to have in your squad.
Yeah, what we saw out of Team Liquid was that they use that Undying as essentially a healing machine during their pushes. So that combined with the Puck first phase pick makes Drow very strong, because Drow not only makes Puck's laning very, very effective, it also gives you that mid-game push that Undying could help with. So I feel like that was a good strategy that OG was going for, but the bans were just better. We got Broodmother being banned out, as well as an Mirana.
And a Luna now as well. Shadow Demon, Luna, notorious combination. But actually, at the moment, any AG hero would be well with Shadow Demon, right? Doesn't really matter.
Sure. Yeah.
10 seconds.
Hey, if you have a defensive disruption, oh no, never mind. Doesn't work.
5 seconds remaining.
Sorry. All good. Alright, next pick goes the way of Na'Vi, and for the first time this series, they tick 3 seconds into their bonus time, but they pick up the Nature's Prophet nonetheless. So that is the one for General, and that kind of cements the Clockwork as support and the Shadow Demon as support as well.
Yep. This I like more. Now, can you imagine like SD and Clockwork running around the early game, disrupting, and then the Prophet teleporting in as well? This makes it really dangerous for any OG supports running up and down the river. That's a lot of pressure already from Navi's draft. I like it a lot.
What do you think so far, Charlie?
I severely dislike Undying. And so
yeah, we saw that before.
I think it's like really hard for Undying to match the mobility of Clockwork and Prophet here. It's because Undying wants to sit in a lane and continually decay one person over and over again. But Prophet can be in multiple lanes. Clockwork is going to be roaming around. It's like the Undying's very similar to Lich in that sort of way, where Lich just wants to sit in a lane.
Radiant team
It's very immobile, and the way you beat it is by going to multiple lanes. And so that's why I don't like this.
Maybe OG can do what mid or feed couldn't earlier today.
I mean, this is looking like a very scary push for OG, right? You throw down the Serpent Wards, you throw down the Tombstone,
10 seconds.
and Na'Vi might have stronger roamers in the earlier phase of the game, but once the group up
5
happens,
seconds remaining.
Yeah.
I'm looking like this currently is a very unstoppable push.
OG.
So they need a hero that can deal with that. Is Viper one that can?
Viper could clear creeps very nicely with Netotoxin. Although with that said, the Viper player these days aren't maxing Netotoxin till like level 12 or something. I feel like this game you might want to put a couple more points into that earlier,
10 seconds.
just to make sure that you don't get rushed down.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, and we are thinking S4 is going to play that puck again, right?
Radiant team best.
And we have a Medusa there as well. That means if you do try to fight into that siege that's going to happen at your base, you're going to have a Stone Gaze to make sure that, well, first of all, either OG is going to be able to fight them, depending on which state they're in, of course, and otherwise they have a good tool to just back off and buy some time for everybody to get out safe.
Not sure if I like the Medusa
5
carry,
seconds
because
remaining.
when she activates Stone Gaze, you could just disrupt her and then just reposition all on top of her.
It's true.
And Shadow Demon will always get a very good disruption target, which currently, or previously, they didn't have against OG, so...
Well, let's see what the teams are thinking about to round up their lineups. We have the bans coming in very soon. And the last pick goes to Na'Vi this game. So they have the chance to one-up OG in the mid lane if they want. See, somewhere in the back of my mind, we saw Dendi run Ancient Apparition in the mid lane. They could run the Shadow Demon in the mid lane.
Who?
Shadow Demon.
I guess.
You don't like it?
I mean, I just see him playing the Viper. We got Gyro being banned out here. We saw, I believe, EG do a lot of Gyro Medusa.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, Na'Vi will take that out.
Mm-hmm. Smart choice.
How do you feel about Medusa into Clockwork?
10 seconds remaining.
She's gonna get Pike anyways, right?
5 seconds.
I think you want Pike builders against like Prophet and Clock, so it's fine. Like she's gonna get pressure early, but in the early to mid game, it's fine. And she could still like attack within from Clock, so
That's true.
I just don't like the Medusa pick against Shadow Demon, but yeah.
We'll see if it's gonna work out. One more ban from Na'Vi. It will give us some insight about what they are thinking the Na'Vi still wants.
All right, OG takes out the anti-mage, which makes a ton of sense against Medusa.
Yeah. Would you go for Crystallized Hero on the side of Na'Vi for a hero that naturally builds into a diffusal or something like that?
5 seconds.
Or do you feel like that's not that needed?
I don't think you necessarily have to take the mana burn route, but Diffusal Buyer's PO is in the pool.
Yep.
Although,
So is Weaver.
yeah, Weaver could get the mana break ability now as one of her talents. Although PO, can Medusa just like get an axe and just kill all the
Yeah.
with one go? So I'm not sure how reliant that is.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, sometimes you could just overwhelm Medusa with damage. The other day, we saw Chessie play like a safe lane Jakiro and just had such an insane amount of damage that they just killed the Medusa.
Ooh, it's an Underlord.
This is looking like a hella scary
Okay.
5-man pushing squad.
And
Seeing this, if I'm Na'Vi, I want to go split push against this. They have 2 heroes I could catch. Shaman is not going to get blinked till
10
much later.
seconds remaining.
well, they also have a severely lack of lockdown on the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah.
5 seconds
I mean, a lot of
remaining.
it is just relying on that Shaman getting a blink, right?
Is Sven an option for them for Crystallize?
You're playing Sven into Medusa.
Yeah.
No, I think you want a mobile range core that could split push and then pick.
Like what?
I do like Weaver a lot.
Yeah, Weaver's
Weaver?
fine.
Yeah.
Storm is okay too, although Storm might not have the laking and punching power required.
Mhm.
this is not a lineup that I think you want to directly fight up against.
It doesn't look like it. They look very beefy. A little bit scary. What is the peak time for OG, you reckon?
For OG,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like mech on Undying. And they pretty much could go whenever they want after.
Okay.
Once like ult is ready on Shadow Shaman, once Undying has his Tombstone.
Because we know Undying falls off a little late game, but do you feel like OG's lineup is too worried about that? Because Medusa, you know, doesn't really fall off at all?
I think it really depends on what Na'Vi picks here. Medusa, there is because this is basically a single core Medusa lineup, and your carry or your no-tail hero is the Underlord. This lineup will fall off at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Medusa's also one of those heroes that could put the whole team on her shoulder, though. So
it will be a PA, mobile, not ranged.
ooh, I don't.
You're not convinced?
I'm not convinced. Because the thing about PAs is once you blink strike in, you're blink striking into a lot of things. So Navi's timing is that they're going to try to win relatively early. Once you pick up the BKB, the PA, Deso BKB rather, you're just looking to basically stop any momentum that OG has.
Yeah, I don't know where this hero is.
Don't worry. We'll figure it out.
So Na'Vi does have a timing where I think they are going to be stronger than OG, and they have to be very precise with that timing. With that said, I like OG's draft. It's much easier to play.
It seems very fail-safe.
Yes. So I'm going to go with OG.
I'm going to go with OG as well. I think on paper, if they execute correctly, like OG should just be able to like run down a lane as 5, and it's incredibly it should be hard for Na'Vi to fight into that. Like your core is a PA.
Yep.
Like he's going to be blinking into an abyssal underlord like aura. That hero is not going to do any damage.
Na'Vi does have a lot stronger lanes, though.
Yeah,
like
I think if Na'Vi is doing real well on their lanes, they're gonna do it. But I don't think they will. So I think I'm gonna go for OG as well. But I think it's gonna be decided in the laning stage. But let's not take our word for it. Let's hear from our casters, ODPixel and Fogs. Hear what they have to say.
Thank you very much, GVS. The final series we have OG versus Na'Vi. OG, they need those 2 wins. VP, they'll be at home holding up the Na'Vi fanboy flags as they are hoping that Na'Vi can do it here. We'll see who's going to be able to take it. I'm ODPixel, I'm here with Fog. And what have we got here? Well, what do we reckon, Fog? There's an Underlord, and that final pick PA. I mean, it's a bit of a scary game to pick a PA into. It's a bit tough, isn't it?
They've got a good amount of burst damage. It's mostly the control coming from the Shadow Shaman and the pit. I'm liking what OG's got going for them here. They've got this late game. They've got the way to push out the waves quickly in case something's do go wrong, and like Na'Vi can get to the base. They've got Underlord to depush. They've got Puck to depush. They've got Shadow Shaman, and like the panel was mentioning, they've got that strong 5-man coming in with the Shadow Shaman wards. So I think go time for OG is hit 6 on Shadow Shaman and Puck. Ideally, or most of the time, I look at Undying, and this hero, we've seen it several times, especially here at DreamLeague. It just hasn't been great. However, a lot of times we see the Undying picked, there's a severe lack of lockdown.
Okay.
OG did not do that this time around at all. They have Puck, they have Shadow Shaman. These 2 heroes make up for the lack of lockdown on the Undying.
And look at this movement already from OG, ready to kick things off aggressively. As they smoke up, move over to invade Na'Vi's jungle. Na'Vi will be able to avoid this though. They're all up towards the top. And it looks like it'll be the classic, just 2 for 2.
Trying to scout lanes.
Bounties.
Jerax with the smoke on the left side actually gets a safe ward down. So Medusa will have very nice time in that mid lane, be able to get those snake bounces. And as we've seen, Medusa now in the mid lane is a lot better to play just because the ramps are so minuscule. Look at that mid lane ramp. It's so tiny. You are going to get hit by snake every single time if you walk up. And we're assuming that Jerax will play around that mid lane at the start, give Rezo the best possible situation. And No-Tail should farm bottom too, so all 3 lanes for OG should farm quite nicely and not get pressured too much as long as they don't suffer from the rotations from Roger. Shadow Shaman is buff hero though.
Yeah, quick blast from Jax to send Roger back off. Roger's going to come back in. Just passing by as it seems. As they run past and get the cogs down, trying to Trying to drain that of Rezo, but Rezo, he's far enough back, and in fact, he'll be able to farm up one of those cogs. Nice and easy goal for Rezo.
Yep. They just have to watch out for the TPs from General on OG, so they don't get punished for it. No-Tail's eating a lot of harassment bottom as well from that Nature's Prophet. Early levels, it's a little bit painful for the Underlord until you get your levels and your passive up, your Atrophy Aura. But S4, as we've seen, he, especially in that last series, was the big playmaker and the big saving grace for OG. So that's probably what we're going to see him be doing again this time around. He has a very, very favorable matchup. Puck versus PA. They can just easily push him out with that Undying as well.
I guess that's the question, but how much farm is Crystallize actually going to be able to get up in this top lane? Because it feels like if the OG play the lane nicely, it's going to be hard for him to find it. Mid lane, though, Jax shackles onto Roger, Snake as well.
One more hit, do they get the shock? Oh, not in range of the shock. Very close, though.
Roger's got to go back to base. Actually flying S4, they're getting aggressive here. Look at this, so they push the lane in. Wrapping around the tower, really trying to keep this pressure on up top.
They don't want him to get free last hits on the tower. They did a decent job there too. Crystallize actually missed, I think, 3 of them. JRX as well gets a bounty rune. He gets both. OG gets all 4 bounty runes at the 2-minute mark. Both supports making the moves around.
This bottom lane.
Starting to catch back up once he gets level 2 and 3.
Exactly what you said, yeah. At the progression in the levels.
And mid now, JRX has a DD rune, so that's a 154 damage right click from that Shadow Shaman. Very painful for Dendi and Roger to step up. Look at the denies on JRX, 2 and 7. He's going for every single one he possibly can.
Yeah, this lane's certainly getting harder and harder for Na'Vi. And that's one out of the many 3 that looking to step up in difficulty is OG. Getting some good farm now on their cores. Top lane.
Crystallize is farming nicely.
Crystallize, he's doing alright. He's doing alright. But S4 still finding farm out of this, and as you say, once there's a few more levels, it's only going to get harder for Na'Vi mid lane. Leading on to Roger. They'll pop down the cogs, but Resolution, he's locked in there with him. Bringing him down low. Dendi trying to help Roger man up, but it's not going to work for Na'Vi as Rezo gets the first blood, taking down Roger.
I kind of want to see one of the Rezo maybe buy a bottle this time. Since JRX is having such good rune control, I think he could use that little bit extra mana. What does he bring out on the courier? Yeah, he's just going to go for boots, be able to run away from the clock. That's fine as well. I guess S4 will probably go for bottle anyway on the puck and help rune control with Fly. Fly gets the salve cancel from Crystallize there. Crystallize is going to be zoned out for a bit. And this is where S4 can catch back up in last hits. But yeah, all 3 lanes looking pretty nice for OG. No-Tail starting to get those levels up.
He's killing it. Look at the CS down there as well.
Yeah.
19 for 4 against the 12 for 9, going very well now for No-Tail in that 1v1. And for the most part, looks to stay as a 1v1. JRX is going to head down here.
He's looking for the rune. The Sprout by General. JRX, though, I mean, he's on for the kill.
Yeah, he's going to get it. All right, you take my bounty rune, I'll take your life, says JRX. As he's in and he's out, and that was not worth at all for General to try and come over and contest that.
Now he can haste, get the bounty, go back to base, TP back mid, help out Rezo more. Maybe he actually just gets a ward up first. Oh, he doesn't actually have one. Okay. So he's trying to get the rep on Rezo. In some trouble here. He's got Fairy Fire in his stick, though.
TP coming in as well from Fly. So Rezo's
JRX is there. He's going for Dendi.
Oh, JRX! He nearly gets it. Fairy Fire comes out, does keep Dendi alive. JRX himself will also get out, but he's zoning Dendi out massively. Top lane S4 getting gone on. Caught with the orb as he escapes. JRX making the movements. He's really getting into this. I mean, this is what, to be fair, is it the 3rd time he's played this Carmen today? He's had it every game.
He's angry. He's going to start stacking up some neutrals to have that for the Medusa, and they have Shrine available, so better use of time there by JRX. Quick haste rune.
Look at this down bottom as well. No, he knows he's pretty beefy now. At this stage, he can sort of get in aggressively. General throws down the Sprout. Pulling Blade is there for No-Tail, and he's just constantly shoving this lane in under the tower with the Firestorm. 32 to 12 against the 15 for 11, doubling the CS of the Nature's Prophet in this 1v1.
Yeah. And look at this, JRX. We see the circles coming up from Na'Vi. They know that a rotation's coming down, so General has to be and will be careful to step up here. No levels of pit just yet on No-Tail. JRX trying to go for the E-through. There's phase boots on General, though. Able to scurry away.
Yeah, very hard for him to close the gap. Up top, S4 again being able to zone Crystallize back. Crystallize is doing well considering the pressure that OG were trying to put on him up top at the start. It's 25 CS on the PA, not bad at all.
Fly getting jumped on by Crystallize. Seneko, they're just pushing him off from the bounty runes. I think they're realizing that OG's had really good control of that. Roger versus Jerax. Roger will be just fine. So will Jerax.
Definitely these middle and bottom lanes being the biggest differences between OG and Na'Vi.
Notel is cruising it right now. 39-16 to the 17 of General. That one quick rotation by Jerax just really catapulted Notel forward.
And General can do very little against this sort of pressure. He needs to have backup if he wants to punish the way that Notel's playing.
Yep.
Roger will head back down here on the clockwork. It's going to mean there's no clock mid and more space for Rezo's Medusa.
Na'Vi gets a D ward up top. They kill Fly's freshly placed ward that was on the high ground there. Since they saw him there going for the bounties over and over again, they assumed that it was placed. I think they also had a ward watching his movement to go there. No tail. Eating a lot of right clicks. Roger trying to close the gap. No tail. Double TPs from the supports.
Yep, and that'll put Roger off for sticking around for more. He's got to get out of there. That sort of reaction comes through. He just has to back away. And no tail. And he's certainly receiving the backup he needs, and it's allowing him to just stick around. I mean, he's low on health, but he knows it's fine. He's an Underlord. He's got 3 points in the passive. Up top, Crystallize looking for S4. Quick orb and a phase shift. And S4's back to safety.
Yeah, very hard to kill Puck this game throughout all stages. There's no stuns. It's Clockwork, who's not reliable whatsoever versus Puck unless you over forward. Mid lane, Dendi in some trouble here.
Jerax has got the grab, and with S4 coming in with the rotation, Dendi, he will go down. No amount of stick charges enough to save that Viper's life. Right, so got eyes onto Roger. S4, think about it, he's got a Dream Coil, doesn't want to pop it down though. No. Doesn't feel it's worth it for the support clock kill. He'll keep it for bigger things.
OG having a very great start to the early game, especially with the Medusa.
Oh, Fly. He's got a haste rune. And should be enough to keep him alive. They're trying to go for the Sprout. But he's out of there. Face boost indeed complete for Crystallize. So he has got now a bit of a punch, but still it's the lack of control on S4 that's been the issue in that sort of matchup. Very hard for him to do anything about the puck.
Yeah. Notel's got a solid 2 levels over everybody else in the game. It's going for the rush 4-step as well, for the cogs being able to displace. They're going to have a lot of different 4-steps. I'm assuming it's going to be Underlord, it's going to be Shadow Shaman, and it's going to be the Medusa with very early ones coming out. Maybe Rezo prioritizes just getting Mask of Madness and some damage so he can just get that farm on, since he does have a couple stacks coming out from Jerax on the Ancients and the hard camp on the right side. Now Notel getting a little bit of tower damage. Keeping that Atrophy Aura stacks up. The beauty about playing it versus Nature's Prophet is you're always capable of killing treants, so you're getting that bonus damage.
Mid lane, Dendi tried to make a bit of a go onto Resolution with the Viper Strike, but still not the damage needed to take down Resolution. He's actually going to come back in on this. He's feeling confident, Rezo, to still hang around. I mean, Dendi will chase this down. Rezo does have to be a little respectful of the punch that Dendi can offer. Looks like Rezo just trying to get the most out of the lane before he heads back to base anyway. As we're seeing, you know, generally comes back into this bottom lane, but there really is nothing that he can do to stop Notel's reign in this bottom lane. He's just owning the lane as this Underlord, and it's an issue because Na'Vi is struggling with dealing with him. Up top, quick jump in from Crystallize, does get the crit, and he may be able to chase this one. Oh no, phase shift's there again. S4's fine.
He's going to go back to base. But they are not getting tower on top just yet. He pretty much forced them to kind of dive him. Crystallize is still farming very nice though, top of the net worth.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But the big discrepancy is that mid lane.
Yep.
Dendi getting punished really hard by that dual lane that was there for the entire time, plus the DD that Jerax did find earlier.
Jerax back up to the
Dire's
top.
top tower is under attack.
Help out S4. Soak up some XP as well, Notel.
The snake bounces in mid just keep hitting Dendi. He's actually put down to 300 life, and Rezo's pretty much full mana from all this.
Roger's hanging around mid, but not quite level 6 on the clockwork, so very little he can do in terms of jumping in. Down bottom, General is just being forced back away from his tower. Roger
Lane,
will actually
Fly.
fine. Yeah, Fly came up to the high ground. He's got the Soul Rip and the Tombstone, so Fly will survive. And Roger and Snake are being forced back.
Crystallized
Dendy
top.
does
Jerax.
get in with the slow. They are trying to move in onto Rezo. Indeed, up top, S4 gets the kill onto Crystallize. And Dendy will not be able to claim the life of Resolution. So what happened top, Fog?
Coil. He just got coiled by S4. He tried to jump in and kill S4, but then Jerax just comes in and shackles him up. And Jerax has Serpent Wards available. They have a catapult top if he wants to go for it here, but chooses to make the move around.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
See if they can punish Noto. I mean, again, they've got a couple of heroes around here, Roger as well, but it's a hard kill to attempt for. He has the ult, he has a TP scroll, and we'll see how he looks to play
Can't
this.
get it off.
He can't. He's been battery assaulted it up, and he's alright. He can't quite cast the ultimate, get it going. I don't know if it would have mattered anyway. Between the three of them, they did have a decent amount of damage, and that is Underlord down.
Oh, and the snake chased Dendy across the map, and now watch Rezo's mana. The snake is coming back. When I see it traveling on the secondary cam.
Oh, global
100 mana.
snake. Oh, hello. Crystallize goes in quick with a crit. Flies there with the backup, but Roger,
Nice hook.
level 6 now. Hook shot. Rezo's out of mana. This is a big kill for Na'Vi, and they'll get it. Resolution down. General's TP'd up to the high ground. Jerax there with the shackles. The Tombstone's gone. Jerax now in trouble as well as Crystallize ready to chase down for more. Roger body blocks Jerax up with the battery, so takes another Crystallize. He's actually looking over to Fly. Jumps around behind the tower. They're focusing the Undying with Dendy there as well. Crystallize, he'll find the kill. S4's come into the fight, but he's all alone as Notel's being zoned away. S4's down as OG just turn up the feedometer.
They got collapsed on very quickly by Na'Vi, rotating everybody here. You see Dendy walked all the way from bottom to the mid lane. Roger as well. Those are very quick rotations coming out from Na'Vi. OG had no idea. 112th time that Dendy and Fly face off.
The biggest Western rivalry.
Wow.
To the good old Alliance ones. I mean, no surprise really. Dendy and Fly, two of the originals in terms of professional Dota players. They've been around a long time. They've played a lot of games. And here we see it again. I mean, Na'Vi just played this perfectly, and this is a dream fight for a PA at this stage, just to be able to turn up and have this sort of impact. Having your team set up for kill after kill after kill.
Yeah, Dendy, like we said, you see him like walking through the bottom river at that entire time and collapsing onto that mid lane.
And even manages to get those more elusive kills like S4, who just steps a step too far. Still though, there is a 2k lead for OG Na'Vi. We'll need another fight like that to close the gap, but
yeah,
as we can see, that does pretty much half the job towards getting themselves back ahead.
OG's about to have one of their big items still picked up. The Blink Dagger on Puck is 200 gold away. He should have it right after this top creep wave. There he does, if he's able to purchase it from the side shop. And Notel is going to be doing that build that we saw him do versus Mouse in Captain. Fly actually mid, getting chased out. Should go down here pretty easily to the Mask of Madness jump.
Crystallize looking very scary now indeed. These are a lot of kills that the PA is getting involved in.
Yeah. So we saw Notel play the Underlord versus Mouse, and he went for the just full tank. Crimson Guard, etc. Just like, I think he had maybe Greaves on top of that, but he was just extremely durable in that game, and it's a really good approach here versus PA. Roger, coiled up. Good easy kill for Notel and the boys. That's a big ancient stack for Rezo. He can start working on that one. And since all ancients have mana now, it's the dream for Medusa, because you get all your mana restored per snake. And with Tombstone committed, they will clean that one up nicely.
How's Crystallize doing towards the Desolator after Mask of Madness? Okay, still a bit of time.
Still doing pretty nice.
But he's keeping up the cause of Na'Vi, of OG, and the same to be said for General. General getting the split push on. It's only Dendy that's a little bit behind on the Viper. But if Na'Vi can find a few objectives with this General split push, that's going to bump Dendy back up as well with that Tower Gold. This was there, looking to form some sort of defense. He just have to be careful. Snake with the wraparound. Put the Shadow Poison upon him. He'll go for the jump and quick silence. Make sure that there's no disruption to cause issues for the Puck as he escapes.
They will get the tower though for Na'Vi. That's a great start there coming forward for them. Boosting up Dendy up as you mentioned. He really needs it. Crystallize trying to engage on mid here. All of OG is starting to collapse. But first they're going to farm up this other gigantic ancient stack.
Na'Vi's seen this, and they're already backing themselves away. Until drops down the pit. Dendy's fine, and Crystallize simply will come back to mid, resume the farming. They'll bring Rezo over, away from the Ancients, just in case the fight does get forced by Na'Vi. And they may just do so, actually. Back from OG as they're leading straight away. Jerax just drops the wards and the shackles. He's caught Dendi. Dendi's gone, and that will be the tier 1 tower going down in favor of OG. Quick and easy kill as Dendi was out on his own. And OG not afraid to dive near the tower. So we've seen Jerax continuously making some very, very nice plays on this Shaman.
Yep, now they can go back to those Ancients. Very good decision making coming out from OG. With those Serpent Wards, always wanting to use them near the tower. Fly. And S4, they find General bottom. They've got the coil.
Try and get himself away. Sprouting fly back, but S4 will chase down, and they've got a good amount of burst indeed. S4, of course, going straight for the Yule Scepter as well, so he can keep up the elusiveness and also have that extra bit of catch.
Yeah, happy to see that. And yeah, Rezo is going to go for 4-staff.
Yeah.
Just everyone trying to build 4-staffs to deal with that clock. And I'm glad to see Fly skill up Flesh Golem there. That spell amp, the max damage amp is 20% there, so he's standing on top of General. So that bonus damage was pretty sufficient with S4. Na'Vi, they're smoked up. They're trying to get some deep wards down to watch that Ancient farming. They have to be able to contest it somehow. They can't let this Medusa just keep getting that acceleration.
Under attack.
Not the best target to go for there, No Tail. Pretty beefy, 1600 HP. Roger was trying to close the gap, but unable to.
I mean, if you're Na'Vi, how are you looking to play this game? Is it just you just need to create space for Crystallize to get a few more items and have the rest of the team sort of split up the map and keep the lanes, you know, on the side shoved in with the Nature's Prophet?
Pretty much. It's tough because of how much of a deficit that the Viper is at.
Yeah.
He has to just try to catch back up, and he's going for 4-staff. He's not going for that Veil build. Goes for the attack speed as well. So he's not going for that magic damage, since they need as much right-click as possible to try to deal with this Dusa, but yeah, it's really hard. They can't really group up and take fights versus OG's lineup. They don't have the team fighting lineup in comparison. They kind of just have to farm it out and hope that the PA gets big enough for them to take upcoming fights much later on. Dendi and No Tail going at it. No Tail has 4-staff.
Yeah, Demonic Purge and the Viper Strike, but as you say, the 4-staff up to the high ground will keep No Tail alive. Roger trying for the hook shot, but he's gone in onto Fly, and there's 4 heroes here. Quick turn for Jerax with the Hex and the Shackle. And Roger's punished. He was hoping to find No Tail, but a little bit of a risky play that absolutely does not pay off. Space has been there for Crystallize, and Crystallize does now have the money to get that Desolator out to him. So we'll see how he turns up to the fight with that extra bit of a physical punch. But still, these heroes on OG, there, as you said, they're getting tankier and tankier with the 4-stars as well. There's going to be the way to play around any sort of jump in from Na'Vi. It's not going to be easy for Na'Vi's lineup.
Yeah. OG, they have Shadow Shaman wards up. I think they're looking for that Roche here, yeah. They're trying to make their way in it with it.
I mean, this is very good timing for them to do so as well, because that Deso's there. You know that Na'Vi themselves, they would have been looking for the Roche.
They can't contest this Roche either. Into Tombstone Serpent wards, there's like no way unless they get some absolutely ridiculous
Stone Gaze there as well. I think it's pretty much impossible for Na'Vi to go in. They've got the hook shot up in 10 seconds.
Yeah, there's no way.
I see S4 already just keeping Roger back away from the pit.
Name of the game for OG mostly in like this first 19 minutes has been just like, come at us. Because all they need to really do is just keep farming Ancient stacks, and they know that they've got this late game with the Medusa. They just have to make sure that Dendi doesn't flash farm, which he can't really because he's a Viper. General does have Orchid on top of the drum finished up, so he's keeping up with No Tail in the farm.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Once a Yule Scepter picked up for S4, so that catch is there if he does go hunting for the Nature's Prophet when General tries for a split pushing affair.
Esports looking to start something bottom here, but everybody from Na'Vi's down here. He gets scouted up by the Rocket as well.
Here comes the ult from No Tail, bringing the team over for the defense. Hook shots in, but surprise, this man has got friends. He's got the Yule Scepter to buy himself some time. Rezo moves forward with the Stone Gaze. Na'Vi, they have to get out of it. S4 comes in with the 3-man Dream Call, allowing Rezo to close the gap. They're trying for the TPs out, but Crystallize, he's not going to make it. The PA's down, the rest, can they actually escape? They've got the lock onto Seneko. Seneko won't be as lucky as well. Some did get out. But OG find 2 kills, one of them being the big one as well, getting Crystallized, who actually it ticked out in the base as he was falling ever so low, and what a play there between them. The coil, the
coil break snap.
I mean, S4 there with that 3-man Dream Call, setting up for Rezo to close the gap, and of course the way that started, getting No Tail, bringing the entire team over from top to bottom. That's sort of the textbook plays that you expect when you read how an Underlord works that we just don't see that often. That sort of movement of the whole team just catching the opponent off guard.
That was literally perfectly executed by S4. With the Yules finished up, even though he gets Orchided, Yules himself up. Jerax.
Oh, he's on the hunt. But that man's got an Orchid. Oh, no. Jerax may have made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
Not sure if he forgot that the Orchid was there. I was just maybe hoping that he could get the instant Hex before the Orchid silence came through.
I think that's what he wanted, yeah. Roger, getting rooted up, has the hook shot to try to distance himself a bit.
Mini hook shot. S4's going to chase. He's got Dream Coil back up. Lays it down, buys space for N0tail to close the gap, and Roger, he's surrounded by 3. He's gone. A quick Soul Rip from Flight. Ooh, Courier. All right. Oh, that had quite a bit on indeed. General gets the Courier. He's not getting out for it, though. They've got the Yule set up to cancel the TP, and General will get 2. There's a bit of time bought from here. Bison Echo is not enough. They tried to get him out of there. It does get the Courier, though. That did have the, I believe, the completed Hurricane Pike of the Medusa there. So a little bit of a slowdown for OG, but still overall, Na'Vi are starting to hemorrhage kills. It's 13-7. OG getting some momentum, and sure, there'll be a few minutes without the completed Hurricane Pike, but I don't think OG are going to be too bothered by that at all.
No. I mean, OG they have this Medusa who can just keep doing this.
Yeah.
Farming up double ancient stacks, farming up double neutral stacks over and over again. And when you look at Navi's lineup, they don't have that flash farming ancient hero.
No.
Crystallize doesn't have a Battle Fury or anything along those lines, so he can't do the similar thing that Medusa does. And Dendi falling, just sticking at that same net worth. He's a Viper. He can't flash farm. Sure, you have Nether Toxin now, but like Lumi was mentioning on the panel, no one really levels it up now again. In the early phase, they just wait to skill it up, unless they have something that's incredibly good versus
They go over the hook shot, trying to set up onto Jerax. He gets the walls down, and N0tail came in with the ult. He's looking for the lockdown onto Roger, but Roger, a little too speedy. He's running himself away. N0tail's continuing to chase, yeah. If they can get the puck in, they should have enough damage. They've got the silence. Or not enough to finish him. He's looking for the deny to the Ancient. No, he just pops the cogs. He knows that he can live. They'll turn towards Fly. Fly with the stick charges, the Soul Rip, and the Decay, keeping himself alive for a little bit, but it's not long enough. Crystallize jumps in, finds the crit, has the hit with the Desolator. Rezo's come over as well to join in this fight, but OG, they're down 2. Stone Gaze will be popped. Na'Vi, they kite it out. They pack away. It's Na'Vi this time, finding the favorable numbers. They get 2. They only lose 1. As Crystallize edges closer and closer to the BKB. And things certainly going to be quite scary for OG, especially the supports. Once he has that BKB, as he can just lock down straight away onto Jerax.
That's their big timing window. When they have the BKB, they just have to go time. But fighting against Underlord is going to be pretty difficult. He's got Mech, he's got Vanguard, he's going to build toward Guardian Greaves and Crimson Guard. So he's going to make his team a lot more durable to withstand that 10 seconds of the BKB. And they're still in Aegis too. I mean, it's going to be getting claimed soon. But yeah, the supports are the big ones that will suffer. I want to see if maybe they go for like Ghost Scepters or Glimmer Capes, something along those lines, some other defensive items after those 4 staffs. Looks like it's will Blink for Jerax for the catch. And Fly. Probably eventually get a Glimmer Cape. But he's a hard 5.
Fortune's change.
Puck, Kaya. The new standard on majority of int cores, and then going to be going for that Aghanims afterwards to deal with that BKB from the PA. Rezo's getting pretty tremendous though. 2 pieces of the Eye of Scotty will be finished up quite soon. And yeah, as we see here, Dendi trying to build a BKB of his own into that Maelstrom so he can start actually being that farmer.
Even with that Death Zone Crystallize, it's going to be very hard to take down the Medusa, as you say.
Back to Ancients from Rezo. Triple stack again. Going to be starting to get cleared up, as well as stacking up the medium camp every single time. Farm game, he will have that Eye of Scotty finished very soon after this gets finished.
As well as the Hurricane Pike, once he wants to send it out to himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's still dead on the courier. That's right.
That's
oh
the
man.
thing. He's massive.
Totally forgot that was still dead on the courier.
Yeah. Hurricane Pike, and as you say, just a couple 100 gold, and that Scotty's going to be out.
He's getting I don't like using this, but he's getting a big power peak here. He's about to get level 20 for that 800 plus mana on top of the Eye of Scotty. He's going to be really hard for Na'Vi to bring down unless they can just isolate him, which I don't think OG is going to let them do because of the way that N0tail has itemized.
Nearly has those Greaves.
Tower
Closing in on the recipe.
His job is just to defend these towers from General's push. And then Dark Rift into his team.
Na'Vi, they went for a smoke. Let's see if they can catch anything. Roger coming in for the side. Let me see if he can go through a hookshot potential, but now the smoke comes off, he backs away. Came a little too close to OG's heroes. S4 hiding in the trees.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They want to kill Dendi bottom. He is very isolated.
So much trouble if S4 can get the lockdown. Jump forward from S4. There's no tier 2 as it's already down. The Dream Core's there, closing the gap for N0tail. He's going to proc the Dream Core stun, moving Jax and Rezo in as well. And with the Skadi down, Rezo just rips through him. That's Dendi down. No Viper for 50 seconds. OG with the creep wave moving in bottom. They're going to try and threaten for high ground.
I mean, with N0tail this buff, 26 HP per second. This is a real. This looks like Rax. There's no glyph.
How do you stop this push? OG. They're pushing up at 26 minutes in. And there is no way the Na'Vi can stop this one. That's going to be the melee rest going down. You can see Nature's Prophet going for the split push, but guess who's there? S4's already up top. He puts an end to the split. And they get away with this. Is looking very, very scary for Na'Vi. The OG can just group up as 5. They're so strong at this point of the game. That was even before N0tail had the Greaves complete. Roger's going to head forward, but there's a Skadi. The slow's there. Rezo just closes the gap. He has to go for the hookshot back to safety, and it does save him. But yeah, Rezo's chasing. They'll go for the defensive disruption, but that's just going to allow time for Rezo to close the gap. Glimmercape's not enough. Rezo gets the kill, pops the stone. He's just moving in on his own. He doesn't even need the rest of OG. He's just going in. The rest of OG now starts to come up behind him. But that is looking very scary indeed, that Rezo can just walk up like that. Na'Vi can do nothing to punish it.
Starting to look near impossible for Na'Vi to take any type of fights. They have to have massive number advantages, and I don't think OG's going to split up. I wouldn't blame them either with the lineup that they've got going on here. They've now got Blink Dagger finished on Jerax, Glimmercape on Fly. They've got all they need to just 5-man these towers.
They've nearly got the Ags on S4 as well. Yep. It's all coming together for OG. As they'll look to push it on this tier 2. Suneko getting caught out by the pit. Roger trying to close in, but a quick force from Rezo gets him back to safety. General goes in with the wraparound, has the silence. They're trying to surround him. He is dropping low on mana here, Rezo. The breakthrough as well. Can they take him home? N0tail says, hold on, boys. We're going back to base. Rezo's out. Everyone's out. N0tail with the save gets Rezo and the boys back out of there.
That was actually looking almost really scary for Resolution there.
It was falling low.
But it stands next to the Atrophiora, stands next to N0tail, gets grieved up, gets that bonus armor. And now Na'Vi.
Oh, N0tail. Just the pit. Crystallize. Be fine. Dagger slow and a backup. N0tail's trying to chase. Actually, I say that Jerax jumps in. He's managed to find the Hex. The water down as well. Roger going for it. The shackles will be broken by the battery cell. Crystallize post the BKB, but the Serpent wards and the physical from Rezo is looking to be too much. He's got to rely on the evasion, but the RNG's surely not there. Crystallize can't survive through that. The PA is down. OG down the mid lane, taking the tier 2 tower. They're 8k gold lead now, 29 minutes in. They are looking so much stronger than Na'Vi's heroes at this stage. It's so hard with the composition that Na'Vi have to do anything to stop this pressure that OG can apply with how big Resolution is.
I'm loving the Underlord last pick too. Honestly, it was brilliant. The full auras, the damage mitigation towards Na'Vi's lineup, it's really proving to prevail. And now the Roche looks like it's the next target for OG, and I don't see how Na'Vi can contest this. Seeing from just that last fight, PA popped BKB and just can't do anything.
Can't do nothing. Absolutely not.
And now it's pretty much a full butterfly in a second coming up for Rezo too on top. With that Aghanims, as you mentioned, about to be done.
For Rezo. And just OG as a whole, so far today, they are looking to be on the ball, and it's, as we've emphasized so many times, this is where it's needed the most. They had to get these 4 wins. They've already got 2, and this third one is looking pretty good. They've got the silence here. They've found themselves a clockwork. Dream Core's down. Roger, he's trying to do his best to buy as much time as he can.
Jerax finds General as well bottom.
Leaving, but oh, hello, hook shot. Blocked by Rezo. Rezo's up to the high ground with the force, gets the kill. And indeed, they catch General, as you say, down bottom. Stone Gaze from Resolution as they move forward, trying to back Na'Vi away from contesting for the pit. They have lost the Undying. Rezo back in. There's going to be a buyback from General. They really want to try and contest this team fight. Disruption onto Resolution. He's being forced back. They are getting OG out of the pit. Silence is there onto the Medusa. And will Crystallize in there with the Desto. He's going to be able to get it. Na'Vi. They sneak back in. They claim the Aegis. They get the Roche kill. And now they're looking for more kills. Jump forward and a couple of crits. That's what N0tail down. OG, they have to get the hell out of there. But Dendi, he doesn't want to let them. He's trying to chase it. He's looking for the slows. General's coming in with a global TP. He's looking for the wraparound onto Resolution. Resolution staying close to Jarex so they can get the vision for Crystallize to jump in. It's going to be big. They put down the Sprout. Instant Hex from Jarex, and he's quick with the blink away. Trying to escape. Dendi's though there with the Viper Strike. Crystallize jumping forward, looking for Resolution. Has he got enough damage there? Resolution manning up the cheese is swallowed. The crit comes through. Crystallize, he finds the kill on Rezo. Rezo's down for 80. Now turns towards Fly. Fly is gone as well. 3 dead on OG. These heroes don't have buyback. There's a DD rune available down bottom. This is absolutely huge for Na'Vi. Crystallize doing massive things there as he is able to get the Roshan, get a very successful fight off the back of it. Sure, they do lose Dendi. It is a dieback from General, but this sort of just spanner being thrown into the works of OG is exactly what Na'Vi need to get back on top of them.
They couldn't really go for just like splitting up there, it seemed. Like Jarex and Jarex goes bottom to try to get that kill there, but because of that, Roger able to jump in and split the fight up around that Roche pit. Allows Crystallize to go in, get that Aegis cheese. That's a huge comeback for Na'Vi.
You can see the swing starting to come through. OG cannot afford to have any more fights go as badly as that.
No, and the break actually was a pretty big aspect there. He broke No-Tail's Atrophy Aura, so Crystallize, you saw that crit that he got on No-Tail?
It was a couple of hits and he was gone, then.
Just chunked him down.
Dire are scanning.
OG has to be careful of those couple movements. They can't really go for those. They can't really get split up versus Na'Vi's lineup. The PA is still pretty tough.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I think he's going to have the MKB. Does it? He's got the 2 javelins on the courier, I think, hasn't he? So that is going to be MKB done
Dire's middle
very
tower
quickly
has
indeed,
been denied.
and just in time because the butterfly has been complete on Resolution. Now level 20, No-Tail with the extra health regen.
I think he's got the Crimson Guard finish now too.
Okay.
So he is
They want to go.
super tanky now.
Let's see what they can make happen.
77 HP per second on No-Tail.
Is the Aegis still there? Or?
Aegis is on Crystallize.
Aegis is still, yeah, it's on Crystallize. Oh, hello. Shadow Demon on the front of it all. They actually dropped the wards for that. And the Tombstone. OG in sort of panic mode there as they were very worried about the rest of Na'Vi coming in.
I guess they thought that it was going to be like a real full fight.
Yeah.
Once they had that high ground ward, they saw other heroes of Na'Vi starting to pour in.
General's got to be careful. S4's there with the setup. No-Tail's coming in with the global TP, ready to join the party. And General, he's surrounded. Does actually have the Shadow Blade. They see him. They've got the detection. Sentry's down. Jarex turns up.
He can't
TP
TP inside the pit either because it's going to keep reapplying. So he had to get a move out, but he's coiled. So good little catch there by OG.
Crystallize trying to do his best to split up the pressure and go for this push down mid lane. He is almost certainly going to have to come back up top if OG can get this push up to the high ground. Resolution leading the way. He's got the creep wave coming around.
Jarex is looking for something. The TPs are all coming in mid. Jarex unable to get the instant disable.
And quick go Scepter, stopping the damage from the dagger. S4's going to continue to chase though. Looks forward with the orb. He's got his eyes on to Crystallize. Silence is there. The phase shift as well. Has to be careful. Roger will not be able to get away though. Stuck in the pit. Rezo has the damage. S4 continuing to try and play around with his PN. Look at that move speed of the orb. Jumps forward. Oh, Coil was back up in 5 seconds. Could have maybe tried to at least force the BKB out if that was going to be the case. But yeah, Coil not quite back online.
S4 is playing this puck super well this game,
I mean, it's terrifying. Look at that. He's second highest in net worth, even with Crystallize.
Second highest in level as well. And once he gets that level 25, we know what happens. That GPM starts kicking in. Dagon, Ethereal Blade can be a big factor in this one. He has queued up the Linken's Orb first, but if he can go for those other 2 big items versus a PA, it can be pretty crucial for their lineup. And No-Tail is just going for just a Blade Mail here to try to reflect some of that damage if they do focus him. Since he has those auras around, all he has to do is survive in the fights to make his team much tankier.
24-14, 35 minutes in, 7k lead for OG. Crystallize is going to be spotted out. Jarex quick with the blink hex. Have they got the further through lockdown? They haven't. Crystallize will be fine for now.
Aegis gets reclaimed in 8 seconds.
Oh, he has to be careful, and he will be fine. They get the first pop of the Aegis, but the Shaman Ward's down. OG still continue to move forward. Crystallized, he plays way out this one. He pops the BKB, but he's actually been stone-gazed up. He's stuck in the Dream Coil as well. Crystallized, what can he do? He tries to jump forward for Rezo. He's looking to man up on the Medusa. Can he win this fight? He cannot. The Hex is there from Jerax. Crystallized is down. Rezo will survive, and Na'Vi, they may just lose Warrior as well. Notel's going to take the poise out. He says, we're not leaving this one anymore, as it's getting a little risky. They were falling a little low. And S4 will go down, but still, yeah, Na'Vi lose 3.
That was a... Dendi tried to Hurricane Pike and push Notel out of there to try to distance themselves, but yeah, that Shrine...
And Dendi, I don't think he expected that at all. For them to come back in that quickly, as you say, going to the Shrine, instantly regenning up, coming back in, that's smart.
Yeah, that's the... I think the first person I saw doing that was Universe when he was playing the Underlord. That's just really good decision-making coming out from Notel there.
And the buybacks have to come through now. Dendi and Crystallize buying back.
Yep.
12k gold lead now for OG. And MKB, the money's nearly there for Rezo.
That high ground ward there, giving them the fight access. Just Jerax with the control. That Stone Gaze as well. Follow up through the BKB on Crystallize.
I mean, Jerax, he has been doing so much on the Shadow Shaman, I feel.
Oh yeah, I think everybody, everyone on OG is doing their, doing exactly what they need to do in the team.
This is true, yeah. You could certainly talk about everyone just being massive playmakers this game, and the 3 games that we've seen from them so far today. As we say, when they've needed to step it up, they absolutely have OG. Na'Vi now 13k behind with this Viper PA duo core, not the 2 heroes you necessarily want in a late game situation against the Medusa Underlord. And of course S4 Puck, let's not forget that man who's nearly got the Lincoln Sphere, and he is level 25, does have the 420 GPM, so that Lincoln Sphere will be there very soon, and that net worth of the Puck's going to skyrocket. We can see it already. He's second highest, and he's now getting quite an advantage over the PA. BKB's popped by Dendi. He's going to look to try and jump forward onto Jerax. Jerax buying some time with the Ghost Step to get enough time to get the Shaman wards out. They've got the control on the side of it all, but Rezo pops the Stone Gaze. Na'Vi, they have to be careful with the BKBs running low. Rezo moving forward, forced in. There'll be the disruption for Tsuneko trying to hold back the Medusa. They have found 2 of the kills from OG. Dendi in a bit of trouble. S4 jumps forward. He's got the coil control onto Crystallize. He needs to bring in more for the damage though. And now with Na'Vi coming back in, OG will not be able to chase any further. So big pickoffs there for the side of Na'Vi as they take down a few. Quick ult from the Underlord to bring him back out. S4 still hiding in the trees. Na'Vi, they're searching for him. They won't be able to find him. S4 TP's out just in time.
Tsuneko doing a lot of work with the disruptions there. Disrupted Medusa illusions do a lot of damage, and Dendi with that fresh BKB able to do quite a lot, just jump starting the fight onto the Shadow Shaman. They lose Jerax right away.
Still though, Rezo survives throughout it all, and
MKB finished.
Yeah, he is without a doubt the big problem for Na'Vi in these team fights.
Yeah, he's level 25 too, so now he gets the modifiers on the split. That MKB will help just a bit.
The best thing they can do is just kite out that Medusa and try and kill the heroes around them.
Yeah.
It's proving to be very, very difficult indeed.
Killing the supports is a good job though. It's a good decision there from Na'Vi. Kill them. Probably maybe not kill Fly if he gets double tombstone down. The fights can be really hard to fight around that. But yeah, I mean, it's just really hard for Na'Vi to fight into OG's lineup just because of their sheer team fight advantage. Hex gonna be the last item for Notel. It's quite a ways away though.
It's the S4 Lincoln Sphere. And Rezo himself actually looking to cure a Lincoln Sphere of his own.
Players here.
It's another double damage rune down bottom. OG could look to that and look to take another attempt at a push.
General TPs for it and takes it. General does have a Hex finished up too, so he's looking pretty solid. Roger, Blade Mill, Spirit Vessel. Pretty nice items there, but not as substantial as the items that OG has been picking up in the last few minutes.
At the same time, OG, they can't place it with me. Broshan is back up.
That's the refresher shard.
That is the refresher shard indeed.
which will probably be game to S4 or Jerax.
Oh, I was going to say Jerax. He'd love that.
Yeah, no tail. Just walking into the enemy team.
Not taking much damage at all.
Yeah, they actually take 0 from Viper.
And
They
now,
find Dendy.
Dendy's in a bit of trouble. Yeah, this is going to have to put the BKB. The Dream Coil down as an Axport, so Dendy's going to have to hold his ground. Stone Gaze comes through. Rezo starting to force them back with the damage they've done. They have lost Fly on the back lines. No tail in on the front, trying to chase down Dendy, but he hasn't quite got the control. Dendy will be fine. OG getting rather split up here. Rogers managed to segregate Jerax to the side of it all. Jerax has the Ghost Step to turns with the Shackles. He will live for now. They've got the hold onto Roger, keeping it back. Rezo actually going to pick apart the rest of Na'Vi, who tried to come in on this because they felt that it was strong enough that Roger had that lead on the back, but that is GG. They've lost 3. No buybacks. This game over. Just like that. A bit... Na'Vi, they just sort of threw their bodies in there. And Rezo just stood in between Na'Vi and Glory, and that is one game closer to the dream day that OG are hoping for. 3 wins so far. One more game against Na'Vi.
That was a very abrupt ending. But yeah, the Medusa just getting it absolutely immense. Seneko actually, those illusions killed Fly almost instantly that he got taken out there. But yeah, that gold advantage and just the team fight from OG. Noto with some very clutch rifts out on top of just the item build. I really liked what he had going for him there.
I mean, as you said, OG as a whole just been playing, absolutely some top stuff today. Sort of the level that we expect from OG, and they've had, a bit of up and downs, as we said before. Previous lot of qualifiers they've struggled with, but recently they're back on the up, and this is exactly where they need to. This is a major. This is an incredible amount of pressure for them, and can they keep it together for one more game? Seeing what we've seen so far, I think it's looking pretty good for OG.
One more.
There's one more. Let's see what OG and Na'Vi can give us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the ad break. Can OG do it? We'll find out soon.